Hi there, and welcome to the Salted Pepper, where we cook for real life using real food and we keep it real simple. Today, we're gonna make some delicious brownies in the Ninja Foodie. We're gonna use the slow cooker function, which might seem a little bit odd, but let me tell you, these brownies are the best that I've ever made. I mean, they are so delicious and so easy because we mix everything up right in the Ninja Foodie. So it's one pot brownies. All right, so first thing you want to do is turn the Ninja Foodie on. We want to hit the sear saute function, high is fine, and hit the start button. I have a half of a cup of butter, which is 1 stick or 8 tablespoons. I use salted butter. That's just my preference. You can use unsalted butter, but you might want to put in just maybe a 1/4 teaspoon of salt just to heighten all the flavors in the brownies. Salt is important in baking. It really does add another dimension. So if you don't use salted butter, just use a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Sea salt, not table salt, or it would be way too salty. If you have table salt and you want to use that, just a little pinch will be fine. All right, so we're gonna put the butter in and we're gonna allow that to start to melt. Then I'm gonna add in the chocolate chips. What I have here is 8 ounces of chocolate chips, but I like to use 2 different kinds. So on top here, I have dark chocolate, and then underneath I have milk chocolate. Okay, I like that combination, but you could use all semi-sweet if you wanted. You could use all dark chocolate if you wanted. You could use all milk chocolate. That's totally up to you. I just like the way that this combination works, and it gives a real deep, rich, chocolatey, fudgy flavor to our brownies. And then we just have a few other ingredients, which I'll go over in a minute because I don't want this to get too melted before I add in the chocolate chips. By allowing the butter to melt a little bit before you add in the chocolate chips, you're gonna avoid overheating the chocolate chips, which can cause them to seize up, and then they just become really hard and they're not going to mix into your brownie batter that easily. All right, so once the butter is about halfway melted, then I add in the chocolate chips and I put them over to the side. Not in the center, because this is convex, the center is raised up some. We do not want the chocolate chips to sit right on the high heat. We want them to melt over, around, and in the butter. When the chocolate chips are about 75% melted, then I turn off the Ninja Foodie. I do that because I like some chunks of chocolate chips in my brownies. If you want your brownies completely smooth, then make sure that they're all completely melted and you'll have a nice smooth fudgy brownie. If you wanted to melt all these and add in extra chocolate chips for that little crunch, you can do that too. That'll be fine. Okay. Now that all the butter is melted, it's fine to go ahead and move the chocolate chips around. All right, that looks good to me. Now I'm gonna go ahead and turn the Ninja Foodie off. Like I said, you could keep going. Now some of these are still gonna melt a little bit just from the residual heat, but I do not wanna risk overheating the chocolate or it can seize up. All right, that looks good. There's about 75% of the chocolate is melted and 25% not. That's how I like it. You can certainly melt it all, like I said before. All right, now we're gonna add in 1 cup of sugar. So just go ahead and add that directly in. 2 tablespoons of oil. You wanna use a neutral flavored oil. I use canola oil, but I know some people don't wanna use that. That's fine. If you wanna use coconut oil, just make sure that it is in liquid form. So you would need to heat it up beforehand. Stir that in. All right. Now I have 3 large eggs that I just lightly beat with a fork. While you're constantly stirring and make sure that the Ninja Foodie is off, we're gonna add the eggs in. You don't even need to worry about tempering them because the chocolate does not get hot enough. to cause scrambled eggs. All right, mix that in. Go ahead and add in 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. Now we're gonna add in our dry ingredients, which is flour and cocoa powder. What I have is 1/3 cup of cocoa powder. This is unsweetened and it is just regular. It's not a dark cocoa powder, but you can use a dark cocoa powder if you prefer. And what I like to do is sift it in. That's just gonna help with any lumps. Since we're not using any kind of a mixer, I'm trying to move that so it doesn't get in the way. Since we're not using any kind of a mixer, I like to just go ahead and sift it. It's 1/3 of a cup. All right, so when you have those little clumps left, just take the back of a measuring spoon or a regular spoon and just move that around to get all the clumps pressed through. Give it a little stir. All right, so just fold in or stir in. You don't have to be careful with this recipe. Just stir it around. And then we're gonna do the same with the flour. And this is 1 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. And I just take my little sifter in here and sift it in. All right, mix that in. Scrape the sides as you go. And remember, the Ninja Foodi is turned off at this point. So I like to mix in the flour, like put it in about 3 different additions and then just stir it. And it just makes it easier, in my opinion. All right, it's starting to look and smell a whole lot like brownie batter because guess what? That's what it is. Easy peasy. All right, that looks perfect. Now what I like to do is get another utensil that's safe for the nonstick pan, and I get everything off of here. And I also go around the sides. Now it doesn't really matter like if you have anything stuck to the sides. It's not gonna affect the outcome, but I just like to kind of go down and get any extra flour, any of that chocolate that's on the side, get it down into the brownie batter. And then just stir it around again. Looks perfect. Oh my gosh. I was so excited. It's kind of funny about how this recipe came to be because I wanted to make some brownies, but I didn't really feel like messing around with putting them in a round pan and doing the bake, and I wasn't really sure about how long they would take, and I really just wanted to have brownies that night. And I said, well, Jeff, you know what? I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try to slow cook brownies. And so I did, and they were amazing, like the best brownies I've ever had. So I am super excited about this recipe, and it's totally worth the time, if you ask me, anyway. All right, so put on the pressure lid. Make sure that the valve in the back is to the vent position. You wanna make sure that it's vented when you go under slow cook. We're gonna turn the Ninja Foodi on. Slow cook, high is what we want. It defaults to 4 hours, and that's what we want. So we're gonna let those slow cook for 4 hours. And they are unbelievably good. And there's two ways to serve them. So when they're done cooking, I'm going to share with you two different ways that you can serve them. All right, so our 4-hour slow cook is up and our brownies are done. And you can see it automatically goes over to the keep warm setting, and that's fine for about 30 minutes or so, but you wouldn't want it to go too much longer than that. So if you've got somebody at home or you're at home and you just want them to cool in the pan, just go ahead and turn it off. And then you don't even have to remove the lid if you don't want to. You can just let them cool completely. But remember, I said there's two different ways to serve them, and that's what I want to show you. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the lid right now. These are beautiful. And you can go ahead and dig in warm, okay? So I'm just going to take a little bit out, just a little bit, because I want to show you the consistency of these warm brownies. It is like, it's almost like pudding, cake, brownie mixed into one. It is unreal. So think about like maybe like a little lava cake. Oh my goodness. This would be so delicious with ice cream. But there is no firmness like a brownie. So that's no good for a brownie, but it is delicious as a dessert. So that is one way to serve it. And it's so good. All right, now, to finish up the brownies, to get that true brownie consistency, what we're gonna do is put the Tender Crisp lid down. We are going to select the air crisp function. Take the temperature down to 375. And take the time down to 10 minutes. All right, so what that is going to do is just crisp up that top and get that flaky layer that is so prominent on really delicious brownies. So we're gonna do that. Then we're gonna let them cool. Whether you let them cool on the counter or in the fridge is up to you. I'm gonna pop mine in the fridge so it cools a little bit faster. Then we're gonna cut into them and we're gonna serve up what you would traditionally think of as brownies. But meanwhile, I'm gonna finish this because it's so good. Truth be told, when I made this recipe the first time, I almost stopped here and called it something else instead of brownies because I was like, this is so good. It's like a warm chocolate dessert. Oh my goodness. But after I finished the brownie recipe and saw how wonderful they were, I thought, no, let's just give two options, right? Then you can choose. All right, so with a little bit more than a minute left, I'm gonna take a peek because you always wanna look and see how your food is going, okay? You wanna look and see, is it getting brown evenly? And it is. I can see a little bit more browning over here, but I can see some bubbles and some crispiness, and that's, oh, so wonderful. However, I don't want to burn the top. So there's two choices. You can either say, done, I'm going to stop it now, which would be perfectly fine, or you could take the heat down. So you could go down to 325, 350, and then continue the 10 minutes. For me, I think this is fine. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to go ahead and cut out some of the brownies. I want to show you the difference now that we've done the 10-minute air crisping so that you can judge where do you want to stop in the recipe? And then we're going to get it in the refrigerator, and I'll show you what it's like when they're actually cool, and you can cut them just like brownies. All right, so I'm going in with something that is good for the non-stick surface here so we won't scratch it. And before, when you scooped it out warm, or when I scooped it out warm, there was no real structure to it. So it was like that cakey pudding kind of a glob, really. I mean, it tasted delicious, don't get me wrong. But we couldn't have like a regular size brownie or square brownie. But now that it's air crisped, I think we can. So we're gonna go ahead and cut. I'm just gonna try to cut a little bit out here. Jeff says, oh, you're just showing this because you want to taste them again. I'm like, no, I seriously want everyone to know what they look like at each stage of the game. And I want to taste it again. So good. All right, so I'm gonna go in here just a little bit. Now it's a little awkward just because I'm leaning over here, but now we have a formed brownie, still warm, obviously. We've got that flaky, almost like, gosh, what would you call it? It's, the look of a brownie right on top. I'm trying to think of what I would call it. It sounds like papery, if you will. And we've got more structure. Okay, so we've actually have a brownie. When this cools down, it's going to even be more brownie-like. But let's go ahead and give it a taste. That's good. Hot. Really, really good. Okay, so my take is this is definitely like got a little bit more chew to it, so it's more brownie-like. Still not totally there like I like my brownies, but absolutely delicious. I would think this would be my favorite, probably served with vanilla ice cream over the number one that I scooped out. So if you want to air crisp and then scoop it out warm with your vanilla ice cream, I think you're going to be real happy with that. Although I like number one too. All right, so now I'm going to pop this in the refrigerator so it can cool down, or you could just leave it and let it cool down. And then I will show you how to remove them and cut them so you could serve them on a platter like regular brownies. All right, so it's been, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours, and I had this pot in the refrigerator. I'm only putting it back in here so that the camera can see down inside. Otherwise, obviously, I would have it right in front of me. I'm gonna use a nylon knife, or you could just use a utensil like this, a spatula that is silicone or nylon. And I put the brownie that I tasted round 2 back in there. That's why it looks kind of funny. And it has really set up now. So I'm just gonna kind of make a little mark around there so that we can get that out of the way. All right, so then what I do is I go ahead and cut the brownies right down the center here. Usually I let them cool on the counter, so they are not this hard, but these are straight out of the fridge, and so they are a little hard. And then I just go around the sides. And then let's see if I can get underneath here and get this big piece out. If not, I'll take a piece out at a time. It's working pretty good. Let's see. There we go. All right, there we have some brownies. And now, of course, to cut them, because it's a round pot, we're not gonna get completely square brownies all the way, but we would cut them just like this. Now you can put them on your platter. One more row here. Super easy, super delicious. All right, there we go. Now my favorite is honestly the corners. I love them. So that's the one I'm gonna taste today. So delicious. We've got a nice topping there and nice and fudgy on the inside. So these are so delicious. Here we go. It's perfect. Absolutely perfect. They have a crisp crust, but they are so fudgy. Oh my gosh. Best brownies ever. I hope you enjoy this one.